Hey, 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 this is Carla Michelle. How are you today? Yes, 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 yes. It is such a beautiful day here in California, even though it is a little overcast and a bit chilly for California. It is still a beautiful day because that is the way we enter the day, regardless of how it looks. There is beauty in the day, there is opportunity in the day. There is so much awaiting us today. There is because I'm recording this in the morning, but I believe that we got to wake up with expectation. We got to wake up with some hope in opportunity that is ours, man. I tell you, this is my year of opportunity. I don't know what you've called this year, but I have called it the year of opportunity. In the morning, I wake up, I open my front door, and I let opportunity in. I am not playing. I literally open the door and let opportunity in. But let me pause. For those of you who do not know me and someone shared this podcast with you, I am so happy to have you with me as a first timer. I would love for you to join in the Strong Women's Network podcast. Go ahead and subscribe. And if you're an Apple listener, go ahead and rate it a 5-star. That helps get the word out more. And ratings always help you get more, what's the word I want? Just more awareness of what we're doing here at the Strong Women's Network podcast, because this is a place where you understand more about being strong, and not strong just powerful outside, but the strong that's strategic, that's talented, that we talk about resiliency and being optimistic and understanding that you're necessary. And when you understand your strategy, how talented you are, how resilient you could be, how optimism plays a role and how necessary you are, go global. If not the world, if you don't see yourself going all over the world with how great you are, at least your world, your community, your city, your home. That is the strong woman. And I am so glad to have you here. And I have guest speakers. I hop on myself and I just, spit my game. I love to just, encourage you and inspire you, fuss at you. And if you are listening to this and it's not yet April 30th, there is a strong boot camp that I am hosting. If you are interested, drop your email at hello@drcarlainc.com. It would be in the show notes, drcarlainc.com. Drop your email and you will get more information. It is a boot camp on Friday, April 30th, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, US. Join me. I know I have listeners pretty much everywhere. And so I know there's different time zones, but hey, let's go. We're going to have a good old time. Boot camp, we're going to get to it. We're going to talk about some areas that you need to be talking to, I need to be talking to you about, and that whether it encourages you, inspires you, hearing someone else what they're going through and how we can give tools and tips and trades of how to come out of that. We're working on mindset. So this is a mindset boot camp. This is a mindset like you would go to a boot camp where you're working your body. We're going to be working our minds. We're going to wake up out of what we've been sleeping on. We're going to shake ourselves out of the slumber of thinking we're not enough and feeling inadequate and thinking that we need somebody, but we really need to know that we need to see ourselves before anyone else can really see who we are. Just great stuff like that. It is a no charge event with opportunities to be present with other people who are looking just to get that little shot in the arm, right? Okay. That is the Strong Boot Camp, April 30th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I want to talk about chaos, confusion, and clarity. Chaos, confusion, and clarity. Chaos, confusion, and clarity. How many of us have had chaos in our lives. How many of us have had chaos? I'm thinking back. I was listening to something and they said to go back. Like they asked the question, where were you 10, 15 years ago? I mean, think of the date. 15 years ago would be around 2006, right? 2006, where are you? Where were you? And some of us, if you were anything like me, were in a place of disorder, craziness, just out of line. This thing's going on. I think in 2006, I was in a very dark place, in the sense of so dark I couldn't see my vision. I couldn't see my dreams. I couldn't see my hopes. I was walking blindly. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm by the window and they decided to do the blower. So turn me up if you can't hear me. I'm not. Anyway, so 2006, I was in a dark place, doubting everything, doubting myself, doubting decisions I had made, really not seeing where I was going. I tell you this, in 2006, I wouldn't imagine in 2021 that I would be experiencing what I'm experiencing right now. I wouldn't think that. In fact, I would totally doubt if someone told me in 2021 you would be in a place of encouraging others, inspiring others, speaking, coaching, writing. I wouldn't imagined it. I wouldn't imagined it at all. Not in 2006. I'm telling you, I remember sitting in my bedroom at that time, crying about where I was in my life, about the decisions that I made, about where I felt my life was going. I honestly, in 2006, I swore I would probably never do stuff like this again. I swore I would never speak up. Swore I wouldn't encourage women anymore, right? But look at 15 years later, I am doing it again, and at another level, in another way, but yet the same energy, the same heart behind it, the same desire behind it. So I'm going to say this, in the midst of chaos, you really don't know what the next years hold for you. You really don't know. You may think you know. You may feel it. Or you may make those contracts that, you know how we make those subconscious contracts, or we make those verbal contracts of what we're never going to do, or what we will swear by, or our lives will never be the same, and everything is terrible. You could experience loss 15 years ago, financial loss, emotional damage, trauma, divorce, maybe something going on with your kids, family members, jobs. And 15 years ago, think about where you were. All right. And so in that chaos, you could not even imagine. If there was chaos, I hope there wasn't, but if there was, I'm sure you could never imagine where you are now. And think about it, you're like, well, I don't feel like I'm any better. Well then, whoa, let's stop the press. 15 years later, you feel like you still are not anywhere different? We got to talk. You need to call me. We need to set some sessions, some coaching appointments up. If in 15 years you have not made any changes that you are proud about, okay, that is a whole nother thing. Go ahead, and also you can use hello at drcarlainc.com, or you can go and you can book a free discovery session. That's like 20 minutes of just us seeing what's going on. And okay, you just need to seek out someone. That's what I'm saying. If it's me, I'm ready. So chaos 15 years ago, 10 years ago, where were you? So that's the chaos, confusion. And when we're in chaos, it's the hardest place to make a decision. When in chaos, it's the hardest place to make a decision. Even if you're in chaos today as you're listening to it, it's the hardest place. It's the hardest arena to make a decision, because usually there's confusion. Confusion and chaos run together. They're like siblings, twins. In chaos, it's hard to be clear. So that's why I'm calling this chaos, confusion, clarity, because it's a process that we go through. So 15 years ago, I was definitely in chaos. One moment, I'm still here. I need to lock this phone up so I don't disturb the recording. Okay, 15 years ago, in that dark place, 2006, 2000, and it wasn't just one in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2007, 2008. It was still dark. That was 2 years of chaos and confusion, but yet in that, slowly I started seeing the light. Slowly I started seeing that my life could have some normality, that my life was starting to form. It wasn't the same life, but it was a newness that was coming. It was a birthing of a new level. And it didn't happen overnight. I tell you, it was about 2 years of hurt and tears and counseling and schooling and just time to myself. And I didn't always handle things the best way. Probably some drinking involved, and just, the things that we use to pacify what we're feeling, the things that we use, whether it's sleep, whether it's drinking. Some choose drugs, some choose sex, some choose travel, anything to get away from the feeling of chaos and confusion we run in it. But one thing that I noticed in this, once I got a hold of something in the chaos and the confusion, I got a hold of understanding if I wanted to know and hear, HEAR, hear what was needed in my life, I needed to be still. Be still. You may think like I just stopped everything. And then at some terms it can mean that. But I'm going to tell you, to get the clarity that started to form itself, it took some tools. It took me to sit in it. If you listen to any of me talking, you've heard me say sitting in it. Sitting in it is the most uncomfortable thing. Sitting in it to me, and what I did was actually have this quiet time in the mornings and before I went to bed, where I just dealt with the emotions of the day. Now, mind you, 2006, my kids were also 15 years younger. So they were about 11 and 9 and 7 and probably 4 or something like that. So they were young, and sitting in it and being quiet and all that stuff wasn't as easy, but it was something that was necessary. And that's when I talk about getting up earlier before they did, before I took them to school, before I went to work. Sitting in that, feeling it, crying, letting the tears out. I wasn't always good at that, because I always felt if I cry, I'm being weak. If I cry, I'm letting that situation get to me. If I cry, I'm not being strong. I'm not being what I need to be to get through this. I don't have time to feel. I don't have time to let my guard down, and crying is letting my guard down. And I tell you, my body showed that I didn't cry. My body showed that I didn't allow myself to grieve the life that I was currently in. My body showed by high blood pressure, headaches, rashes on my face and on my body. Your body knows. You may try to hide it, but it comes out some kind of way. It shows it. So that was happening to me. Rashes, my blood pressure, unable to sleep as well, little snappy, a lot of snappy, little attitude, So I used exercise to help relieve some of that, but I didn't do the emotional work. That was physical. That burned off like the cortisone, that kept, but that didn't do anything with my thoughts. That didn't do anything for my doubt. That didn't do anything for my lack of belief. That just helped me burn some energy, but it didn't do anything for me internal. And so sitting in it was my internal work, right? Prayer, meditation, understanding, affirmations. I'm for it. On this podcast, there's an episode of affirmations, and get in there and play those in the morning, because that's the stuff I did. I'd wake up and I'd have it on 3x5 index cards, and I would read those to myself, and I would say that I'm the head, that I would say I have everything that I need, that I am brilliant, that I'm intelligent, that I'm smart, that I can make wise decisions, that I'm favored, people of great wealth favor me, that I have every need met, all the stuff. My kids have favor with their teachers and their principals. They have favor, they have good friends, they make good decisions, and that was stuff like that. And I would go to bed and be grateful. Thank you. And even the littlest thing, finding the smallest glimpse of the God winks. When you feel like God winks at you, the little things like someone treated me to lunch, or I treated someone to lunch. My kids, were so cool. I got so much done. They were so calm today, and I was able to do, wins like that. I found at that time, I found a gas station with great prices on gas, or there's this great food on sale at the grocery store. Let me tell you now, 15 years ago, I think about I think about going to the store with a calculator. This is before you use your phone as a calculator. This is when you had a calculator, and I knew how much money I had in my account, and I knew with 4 kids, how much was needed, getting the house, but I know how much I had to work with, and counting up and seeing and hoping, like when you get to the checkout, that it's okay. Have anybody been there? Has anybody been there with a calculator in the grocery store, making sure that what my account had could cover the groceries that were needed? So that's the kind of stuff that now I have to say, I don't go to the store with a calculator. It doesn't mean I'm not mindful, but there's not the need to go in there with it like that anymore. I mean, I go to the store any time that I need to go to the store without too much thought. I don't have to put water in the juice like I used to make it stretch. Sometimes I'm throwing out juice because it's just sitting there. And, it just 15 years ago to 15 years now. So I'm telling you, wherever you are in life, it's not forever. Where the chaos is, where the confusion, let's get back to confusion and how to understand what to do in confusion. Confusion is not where you make the deepest. You don't need to be making high level decisions in the midst of confusion. And if you have to, seek counsel at that time, because when you're confused and when you don't know where you want to land and when you don't know what's needed of you, you need some sponsors behind you to encourage you and to invest in you in a way that their intentions are to help you and not to harm you. You get somebody around you that sees that you're going through and helps you see a higher realm of what you need to see at the time of your confusion. So, chaos, confusion. How do we get to the calm? I tell you, the calm does come with consistency in the time you spend with yourself. On yourself, for yourself. The calmness comes when you spend time with yourself, on yourself, and for yourself. Because there is something, you know me, I'm going to say it, knowing yourself, knowing your triggers, knowing your thought process, finding out the root of why you have chaos. Why do you have chaos and confusion in your life? That's how you find out by spending time with yourself, on yourself, and for yourself. You find out what is the root. What is it? What is it that I need, that I am trying to find, and it's causing chaos in my life? Some cause chaos in their lives because they're looking for someone to fill a void that only they can fill. How do you know what that void is? Spending time with yourself, on yourself, and for yourself. You find out that void. You find out why you show up at work with this void. What is it? It's not about your boss. It's not about your employees. It's not about your direct reports. It's not about your colleagues. What is in you that's still in chaos and confusion? How do you find out? Why do they irritate you? What is it in you that your expectations of them that need to be released? What expectations do you need to let go of your colleagues, of your employees? Man, we want everybody to do a good job. We want to do a good job. But did you put an expectation that has not even been discussed? And then you want somebody to read your mind. Find out. Spend time with yourself. Find out. Find out why you always have an argument with somebody. And why you're the one that they always like, oh, don't say that because you're going to make her go off. Why do you go off? Why are you going off? What is in you that you're protecting? What is in you that you don't want to see hurt? Why don't you, instead of protecting from being hurt, where you turn into someone who's hard to talk to spending time with you, on you, and for you, to find out how you can acknowledge the hurt. See what I said at the beginning? I didn't want to cry. I didn't want to feel, because I felt if I feel, I'm giving into it. I would have saved a lot of time, emotional time, if I would have just felt it. And for that moment, knowing that it hurt me, instead of living more years of protecting and securing that hurt and that pain and never letting it heal, never letting it grow. I stunted my growth longer than necessary because I didn't want to deal with it. Chaos and confusion comes a lot of times because the things we're not willing to deal with, the things that we're not willing to face. Sit on that for a minute. What are you not willing to deal with and face that continues to cause confusion and chaos in your life? You want clarity? You want clarity? Clarity is power. Clarity is strength. When you're clear about who you are and what you want, and nobody can mess with you. You know that. Even in the sense of buying a merchandise, when you know what you want, no one could tell you different. I don't care if the reviews are saying this is the most terrible thing I've ever dealt with. If you want it, you get it. You know you do. You know you do. You know those heels, when we used to wear heels, hurt your feet, but you love them and you would get them anyway because you had clarity of the purpose of in buying those heels. Well, I'm going to tell you, where are you missing your clarity so that you no longer have confusion and chaos, but you have power? Get your power back. Get your power back. But it comes with clarity of who you are, what you want, where you're going. You see your future so bright. Don't give up on your future. I don't care right now. This is your chaotic time. This is your day of confusion. Do not give up on your future because this very thing could be a thing that's helping you get there. Oh, wow. Are you serious? Yes. Yes. Take it. Take the hit. Take the hit, but get up. Take the hit if it's a hit. If it's already hitting you, I mean, you can dodge it. You can dodge it. Learn how to be strategic. I don't have a problem with that. But what do you need to still learn from it if the blow comes? What do you need to learn from that? Right hook, that uppercut. What do you need to learn about yourself? Sometimes we're so outer focused about what is happening to us, we forget what's happening for us to grow, for us to change, for us to adjust, for us to be in a place that we said we wanted to be. The financial issues back then has helped me do better with my finances today. I'm aware. I'm going to tell you this, what you learn from the past, don't let it put fear in your future. I'm going to say that again. What you've learned from the past, what you've experienced in the past, those hits, that chaos, that confusion, don't let it put fear in your future. And that's why clarity is necessary, because you need to see the part and the role that the chaos and the confusion played in your life so that it doesn't carry into your future. You got to let those bags go of the past. The only thing you need your past for is to understand your victories today. The only thing you need your past for is to help you understand more and bring clarity to today's victories, to the steps you've taken, to the victories, to the things you've overcome. That's what your past is for. We got to stop sitting there. We got to stop camping there and thinking that this is it. This is where I live. God has forgotten about me. He doesn't see me. I don't even see myself. I'm going to sit right here. I'm stopping. This game sucks. This game called life sucks. I'm sitting right here. Y'all keep going. I'm fine. I'm fine. Yes, right here. I just want to watch my shows, raise the rest of these kids up. I don't need to get married. Again, I'm done. I'm done. I don't need to try to go for that promotion again. I'm going to sit right here. I've been rejected too many times. I'm done. No, don't be done. Don't be done. Take the steps. Keep moving. What did you learn? What clarity can you get from that? What generational connection can you disconnect to? What generational connection can you disconnect from? What generational connection can you disconnect from? And another thing, don't be so busy trying to not be your parents or whoever, your grandmother, whoever you were impacted by. Don't spend so much energy trying to not be somebody because you didn't like the way they do something. Because you know what happens. They say you end up being just like them. But the thing is, you're so busy trying not to be that person, you could be over functioning in another area. You're trying so hard not to be them. You're not even being you. You're trying so hard to be them, to not be them, You're trying so hard to not be them that you are not being you. Once again, knowing yourself is powerful. Knowing yourself brings clarity. Knowing yourself puts you in places that you're dreaming of. Knowing yourself gives you an audience, whatever your audience is. Knowing yourself helps the relationship with your kids. Knowing yourself helps the relationship with your family. Because knowing yourself brings confidence. Knowing yourself brings that awareness that however someone else may be acting, your expectations is not in them. Your expectations are in yourself and how you show up. Right? Right? Very important. All right. I'm going to just stop there. Chaos, confusion, clarity. Where are you in that process? All right, Carla Michelle, drcarlainc.com, Carla Michelle Coaching and Consulting, the Strong Boot Camp, April 30th. Go ahead, share this episode with someone you know it's needed. And I love you. Thinking great thoughts. Believe in you always. Stay strong. Stay talented. Understand? Stay strategic. Stay talented. Oh, never stop being resilient. You're so necessary. Be optimistic. And let's go global with this. Love you.